All right, how are we all doing? Okay, so pretty excited to talk to you about VMware's thoughts on private AI, which we've seen as really start to evolve as an industry concept over the past 6 or so years. And then what is the role we play, and also, what is the role that VMware plays in this ecosystem as well. So if you look around, there's a large VMware presence here, and there's also definitely encourage you to check out the VMware booth. My job at VMware is running VMware AI Labs, and we're responsible for helping execute the AI strategy at VMware, as well as incubating some new technologies in AI, inclusive of all of the work that we've done with Ray. Now, what we see among challenges is that we've heard from a number of our customers is this challenge around intellectual property, meaning I want to maintain privacy and control of my data that's used in these AI use cases. That's been important to a lot of customers we've talked to, and also been important internally at VMware. So this has been something that we've used to drive a lot of our own use cases and things that we're looking to offer to customers. Minimizing intellectual property risk. If you think about a company like VMware, our source code is core to who we are. We want to maintain privacy and control of that and how it's used, and that drove some of our decisions around how we approached AI-assisted code development inside the company. Maintaining data privacy and ensuring that your data is not being used to train models that might benefit your competitors. This is also something that we've seen and heard quite a bit from a number of customers that we've worked with. In fact, there was a CIO I met with at our Explore conference last month who said, you know what, I read one of my competitors' emails, and what I was able to determine from reading that email is they're using the same external AI services as we are. And he took that to mean that what we need to do is look at more private solutions using open source models that can be more tuned to us so that we don't look vanilla compared to all of our competitors. We really want to stand out. And maintaining access controls of AI models as well as the data that might be used to train or tune those models, also very important. And that leads us to private AI. We define this as an architectural approach that balances the business gains of AI with the privacy and compliance needs of the organization. So we think this is a really important part of the AI ecosystem that we're now starting to see more and more people start to talk about. Again, this isn't a VMware product, this is just an approach to how we're looking to participate in the ecosystem, and we're seeing this from a lot of VMware partners and customers that say, you know what, this makes a lot of sense to us, we agree, we want to be involved. So what are the use cases that we're trying to address, or what are some of the core requirements? Certainly privacy matters, but if we start to look at other core tenets, so does choice. It's really important for us to provide an AI infrastructure platform that allows organizations to very quickly pivot to new models or new services as they become available. What we're seeing today is this increased churn in terms of what's on top now versus what's new is coming and what else can I take advantage of. And we think we're really just at the beginning of this. If you look at where things are going with smaller parameter models that are tuned to individual business processes, we think there's going to be this huge expansion of these smaller models out in the industry. And again, we want to be able to provide that platform that allows organizations to make one investment and then via software add these additional models into their business processes and operations as it makes sense. Cost is equally important. What we're seeing with our running open source models on premises in our own environment is in some cases we're a half to a third of the cost of some of the public services that are available today. And we're going to be publishing some more data that will help you to see that going forward. Performance needs to be as good or better than any other commercial solution. And we've been able to create benchmarks that are showing us, in some cases, 5% faster than bare metal. And you might say, well, how is it possible that a hypervisor is faster than bare metal? The reason is for more than 20 years, VMware has been working to optimize our kernel and our I/O stack to run multiple workloads concurrently. This is not a problem that's existed in many traditional operating systems. So we have a head start in terms of being able to provide faster I/O to apps and services compared to a traditional OS running on bare metal. And finally, of course, being able to meet your compliance mandates. So what does this look like specifically? So to get started on a VMware platform, really I'm just layering on a few different things here. So we can start with our hypervisor or cloud foundation. And then this is where I can run my VMs, containers, data services. And again, if I step back, why VMware? What we're seeing from customers is oftentimes when a developer or data scientist is grabbing a GPU, they're holding onto it, or multiple GPUs, they're holding onto it for a finite period of time. But in many cases, they're not using all of that capacity. So we see this all the time where organizations have a pool of CPU or GPUs, but they're not making the most efficient use of it. We can create a pool of GPUs that can allow you to dynamically grab the allocation of even a slice of a GPU when the workload requires it, and then simply reclaim that and use it for other workloads going forward. And what I'll show in the presentation, in the later demo, is how we do that in integrating with Ray. So beyond just being able to share the physical infrastructure, we also provide common management, which we see is really important for a lot of customers, being able to have a single pane of glass for both AI and non-AI workloads. Now finally, what's sitting above that is Ray, which we're all here to talk about at this conference. We're using Kubeflow for basic MLOps and PyTorch, of course. And then above that, whatever models that you decide to layer on top or take advantage of. In addition to that, when we launched our private AI platform last month, we also at launch had a large number of ecosystem partners that were standing behind where VMware was going and what we're doing and working to partner with us to bring these solutions to our customers. So we have a large ecosystem of partners that are already around us, and as you'll see through the end of the year, we expect to have even more partners behind us as well. Okay, so what does this look like? What's Ray on VMware Cloud Foundation? So what you're getting advantage of here is, so when I'm running a Ray head node in Autoscaler, I'm requesting compute from a distributed resource scheduler using the VMware resource pool constructs. So this is the logical bucket in which I can have my available capacity stored, and I can simply pull from that. That's what's giving you that efficient utilization of your compute resource pool that you might have available to you. And I can provision that to the different Raylets. Next thing I want to do is get into a little bit of a demonstration just so you can see what this looks like. And then we'll wrap up with some additional resources. So if I get started, many of you I think would be familiar with this. So this is my basic vSphere client. And if I get started here, what you're going to see is a resource pool that we've created for Ray. And now what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to run a Ray up command, and from the resource pool, what we're going to go ahead and do now is spin up the Ray head node and a couple of worker nodes. Now, this demo, this video has not been sped up. That is how long it took. So think about that. That was about 3 seconds to deploy a Ray head node and a couple of worker nodes. On bare metal, the average benchmark is around 5 to 6 minutes. Typically in a public cloud, it takes about 30 seconds. We just did that in 3 seconds because of the instant clone technology that we have. We can log in here. We're going to see everything is stood up now. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to run a training workload just so you can see how this works as well. Again, for VMware, the importance to us is transparency. We want our organizations, our customers and partners to be able to use the Ray API to gain access to this infrastructure without having to know anything about how to work with, say, VMware APIs. So from an application perspective or a data scientist perspective, it's running Ray up. I'm doing a configuration here for YAML specifying the compute that I need for this training set. Again, we're just using the Ray training sample data around a very important use case, which is breast cancer detection. So now this is going to run, and as expected, it's a demo video, so of course it's going to complete, right? Of course it's going to work. So we'll see that the training job succeeded. You'll see that the job's completed here. And voila, here we go. So again, fast, simple, transparent, using all of the native Ray constructs that you've come to know and love. And again, being able to do this faster than anything out there at a lower cost as well. So learn more. So here's some VIA links that we created for different VMware solution pages as well. So the first one is going to get you to the overall communications of all things AI at VMware. VMware AI Labs, which is my organization, that'll take you to all of the different things that we're working on and new tech that's coming. The AI ML solutions page, that's going to take you to everything that's shipping or about to ship, including VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA. We have a blog post around the Ray plugin for vSphere, which will give you even more context. Finally, the work that we've already done, this has already been upstreamed into Ray, so your integrations with the VMware infrastructure is now native. We also have a hands-on lab, so if you just want to get a quick experience to kick the tires, there you go, we got that too. And then finally, this is community-driven work, so what we want you to do is collaborate with the team. If you have other use cases or you have some feedback for us on the experience, just send an email to rayonvmware@vmware.com, and we'll work with you on that as well. So, we appreciate you spending the time with us here today. We're pretty excited about this, pretty excited about the opportunity that you have with private AI and what we're seeing now with inferencing use cases on private infrastructure, being able to deploy smaller models, tune them against business processes, and be able to constantly retrain your models as well, using capacity in many cases that you already have and saving your company's money. So we're excited to partner with you on this, and I'll be around for most of the day if you have any questions or want to talk further. Thank you very much.